every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is, you show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox postgame podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, welcome into the ToddFox postgame show. Delayed a little bit, not due to inclement weather here in Los Angeles, but due to some work, not due to. But yeah, we're back, we're here. So if you were checking in, I was working today. There was on Instagram a little update. Thank you by James, the producer. Actually left a message saying I was going to come on right at 3 o'clock. But I was able to listen to the game. I didn't see all the highlights. Or I got some of the highlights, but I did not see the game in person. I was listening to it as I was driving through work in my route today. So with that being said, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. The jersey was given away, and we will once they claim it, the jersey will be given away, and we'll announce the winner of the 714 tickets Halos in the Infield jersey giveaway. If you put in the promo code when you purchase tickets, you have no problems with extra fees. If you go to 714 tickets, go to the promo code, type in HITI, HITI, that gives you 10% off of that purchase and future purchases by putting in the same four letters, and also gets you 5% back towards your next purchase and gets you in the running for May's offer of a free jersey courtesy of Halos in the Infield. Now, we give you two options. We give you the one jersey that we have on hand right now, or you could pick your own, and which will take a couple weeks to get to you, but either way, you get a free jersey courtesy of us, either right now, or if you can wait, it's custom. Now, so with that being said, let's get into what happened today. A sweep. I think it's the first time we've been able to say that all season. The Angels have swept, and they took out the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, you look at this before the series started, you had a team that was 10-19 coming in, and you're going into their house 10-19. The fans are down, but they're still showing up in droves at 40,000. They're looking for something to cheer for. They want the Angels to they want to beat the Angels. You rested Ohtani in game one, and you get a win. You rested you played both of them yesterday, and then you rested Trout today, which made absolutely no freaking sense. You went with the B team today, and the B team got it done. And there's a couple guys I'm going to talk about that I'm a little frustrated with, especially like Hunter Renfroe. He keeps rolling into double plays. He's swinging very flat now. As hot as he was, he's getting put out a lot by the sliders on the outside corner of the plate. But what I will say, though, there is so much to talk about positives, because in the game, I'm going to be my inner Roger Lodge today. Roger Lodge is going to be all over this one today, because not only look, when I saw the lineup and I saw that Trout was sitting, that made no sense. When I saw that Neto was playing, that made no sense. Because of how he was hit yesterday, it would have made sense to give him the day off and then the fly back and all this other stuff. But the dude is a trooper, and he came up with a hit today, 2 RBI double, or 2 RBI single, excuse me. Ohtani had 2 walks and a hit. Renfroe did get a hit, though, but he left 4 guys on base. Rendon actually came up with 2 hits and 2 runs, so he scored, and that's all you want. If you're not driving in runs, set up the other guys, and that's what Rendon's been doing. That's what we want from Trout, and he was clutch yesterday, but we want him to continue to do what he's doing. So you had that. Then you had Lamb today. Another hit, 2 runs scored. But he had 2 strikeouts. He left 2 men on base. Urshela came in for him for late, but 2 guys, actually 3 guys that I'm really, really happy about, and is Ward, who had 3 hits today, including in 4 at-bats. He had an RBI. Theis. Dude, Theis came through. 3 hits. He almost had the cycle today, triple short of the cycle. Renifo was triple short of the cycle. I'm sorry. But he had 3 hits. He had 2 RBIs. Renifo had the huge day. Triple short of the cycle, 3 for 4 RBIs, including the 3-run homer early. And how about Brett Phillips? How about Brett Phillips saying to all you naysayers that I just put on a hat on the home run hitter, I also can get a hit. He actually managed 1 hit and 5 at-bats, although he left 4 men on. But the pitching, look, the pitching, here's the thing. Griffin Canning, 5 innings pitched. Now, here's the thing. If he makes a mistake or two and gives up a few runs like he did today, all the damage the Cardinals did basically was with 2 outs, and he could not finish out an inning. So that's something he could work on. I'd rather have him work on a start like this where he didn't really have his best stuff, so that the next time when he takes on Houston, he knows how to, work on his mechanics a little better. He was a little bit off today, but you'll take that from him because we scored 11 runs. I mean, it's not often when the Angels can put up crooked numbers back-to-back innings and put the game away essentially early on, and they did. 4 straight games. 3 out of 4, the Angels have led from start to finish, which is pretty nice, or almost from start to finish. But you had Davinsky with an inning and a third, again, untouchable, zeros across the board and a strikeout. Tucker Davidson looked great. He gave up 2 hits, but he got out of it. Still looks good. Moore looked great. Moore put up zeros across the board. His ERA is at 1.10. You got Davinsky at 0, Davidson at 2.25. But like I said, there had to be a negative. I picked on Renfroe a little bit. Now I'm going to pick on Aaron Loup. And had it not happened for Aaron Loup today, giving up 2/3 and 2 runs in his, doing his loopy stuff, the Angels were on before this, 14 straight innings without allowing a run. It would have been 18 after today. But Loopy said, no, I'm going to surrender some runs because that's what I do. That's what you paid me here to come here and pitch in Anaheim. You're not paying me to do what I did in New York and put up zeros and be a setup guy. No. You're paying me to be an overpriced mid-relief, hold on to a 9-run lead, but then almost give it up. Well, no, not a 9-run lead. He had a 6-run lead. So he made it interesting there for a while, but credit the bullpen for putting up zeros after that. So getting into the scoring, the summary real quick, Wilson Contreras led off the game with a home run. It was 2-0. Or a double, 2-out double, I'm sorry. Made it 2-0, but Theis came right away, scoring with an RBI single to make it 2-1. Then Renifo with 2 men on hit a 3-run homer to make it 4-2. Jake Lamb singled up the middle to make it 5-2. Then they got, let's see, in the bottom of the 4th, Edmund homers to make it, that's before I missed a lot of the other stuff. But Angels just put up a lot of runs. My summary wasn't working here too good. My bad. Anyway, you get the point. The Angels put up 4 in the second, 6 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and that was it. And they held on. 11 runs, 16 hits. One thing I will say about this as well is where was the velo on these hits? This is what I'm talking about. You don't always need to crush the ball. Yes, Renifo's home run was hit deep, but how many of those hits were bleeders? How many of those hits just, were looped into the outfield? That's all you need nowadays. And if you got consistent hitting or you got guys that can hit it where it's like you hear coaches say, hit it where they ain't. And that's how this equated out to 16 hits today. Those are productive hits. And you want that from your players. And especially with a shift gone, you could take advantage of that. I see a lot of batters early on this season going to the right side because some teams will say, okay, well, they're a pull ball hitter. Let's put the second baseman as close as we can to second base. The shortstop will shade a little bit, and you could kind of try to take care of that middle. There's that left center part of between short and center second base that's open, but the right side of the field is wide open. So if you could just lay the end of the bat on the barrel of the bat on the ball and kind of poke it to right, that usually works for hits. So teams, I will say that's what the Angels are taking advantage of this season. They're not really taking advantage of the ghost runner. They never have. They're having trouble stealing bases. That's fine because that's what they do. They don't like to steal. But they are taking advantage of poking the balls to where they're not. And I like the way the bats have been in this series and pretty much the whole road trip. They didn't get the breaks against Milwaukee, but they were getting them against St. Louis, and it's good to see 3 in a row. And a nice little sweep here, a little momentum. You're 18-4 now, or 18-14. I wish they were 18-4. 18-14 headed home and playing Texas, only a game out of first place. So that's very encouraging to see moving forward here. But I'm going to give out some awards like I usually do. The John Stamos Award for the best players on the field. And you know what? I'm gonna go with what I did yesterday. Yesterday it was a lamb, a goat, and a unicorn for your freaking your Stamos. You know, they had to share one Stamos. And I think we're going to do something similar to that today. I think I want to give it to I'm gonna up it one here today, just because I'm feeling generous and a sweep, and I'm in a good mood. John Stamos, what a guy! I'm gonna, I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna have to give it to these players, man, because the bottom of the order really kicked ass today. And pitching wise, you could say Davinsky or something like that, but they only got in there in an inning and they did their job. And yes, they've been putting up zeros, but I'm gonna give it to our boy Ward, and I have a reason for each one of them. Our boy Ward, because he's been struggling and he needed a series like this. And he needed a game like this for his confidence, building up his batting average again. So 3 big hits, you get a Stamos. Mr. Theis, high off that weed, that good. Before he took off on the road trip and on the flight back here to LA, he had to smoke a bowl before leaving. You don't want to bring any of that ganja to the airport. Theis though looked like a major league catcher today. He looked good. Like he still looked high as fuck. And, his eyes were barely open, but he looked like a competent catcher. So Theis, 3 hits today, 2 RBIs. The ball went flying off his bat. He just looked comfortable, and that's the first time I've ever seen him look comfortable up at the major league level. 3 hits for him. I mean, look what Wallach's done this series too. I mean, our Angels catchers have played very, very well and underrated this entire road trip. Their numbers aren't bad at all. So I'm gonna give freaking Theis a Stamos. And then I can't overlook Renifo. Renifo's been struggling for playing time, trying to get in there. Drury's been playing really hot of late up until the Milwaukee series. Got a home run the other day, but he's been a little hot and cold on the road trip, but we've had to place him in there to maybe replace Trout in game 1. You get him some more playing time today. He goes off and almost hits for the cycle. How can I not give him a Stamos? 4 RBIs. So he gets a Stamos. And then just because Fernando's been complaining about it this entire road trip, I have to give one to my boy Brent Phillips for finally cracking a hit and now batting .083. He got 1 hit today, and he even got an RBI for it. So credit where credit is due. I'll give Brent Phillips, the hat placer, a freaking Stamos as well. So it's going to be a little hard graphic for me to make, but 4 Stamoses today. That is a true record right there. Now let's go over to Nacho night. And I if you saw the game, if you listened to the game, there's pretty much no doubt who deserves the Stamos, not the Stamos, the Nacho night for worst performance on the baseball field.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
Wow, it's that is such a telling. You go from John Stamos looking all pretty compared to Mr. Paul Sorrento looking like he's just had way too many nachos, and those nachos are starting to affect his skin. Flaherty falls to 2-4, 2 1/3 inning pitched, 9 hits, 10 runs, all 10 are earned. He only had 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he allowed only the 1 home run, but his ERA balloons up to 6.29. So yeah, Flaherty, and it's funny because looking into this series, I thought Flaherty would have the worst start out of all 3 pitchers. We said that on the podcast. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad. I mean, after the first inning, literally nothing he threw was really fooling these guys. And it went by. They started crushing him, and I'm surprised he lasted that long. But the inherited runners scored 2, so it ballooned it a little bit, but they were all his. So there you go right there. Nine runs allowed right there and 10 hits. So yeah, he definitely gets the freaking Nacho night there. But a close second, as a lot of you guys like to put up, is Loop, and Loop is always in the running for a Nacho award. He's always ready for those nachos, and man, I'm telling you, he could have earned them tonight. He did let those Cardinals back into the game. And that could have been really, really hard if the Angels blew a game like this before they came home. So it's good that they got the win. They stopped the bleeding when it happened, and then here you go back to home. And here's the thing too. I was listening on radio, and they were like, "There's no way that they're gonna use Estevez." And I'm like, "Oh my God, here we go again." So you pitched him 2 nights in a row, and obviously he's off the books again. It's pretty stupid. So yeah, we're doing that again, but. Besides that, there's really not too many negatives to take out of this game. It was a nice win, and it's a day game, and now you get to enjoy the rest of your day with your family or friends. And you get a sweep. And tomorrow, hope to see you at the Big A. I got my tickets ready. Clown might be making an appearance tomorrow, and if he does, my alter ego, the Halo Honk, you better come and say hi and take a picture with me, because if you do, I'll have something to give away to you. So, but I will be there for sure tomorrow. Saturday's still up in the air. I may or may not be there. I'm still checking in on that. But for sure, I'll be there tomorrow. So, let's get into some of the comments here, because it's always good to talk win, and even when they sweep. So, Hayes says, "Fuck, finally." Josh says, "Loopy bitch for almost letting the Cards back into the game." So you late, you working? Yes, I am. Well, I was, Dan. David says Anaheim Angels won a sweep in St. Louis. Yes, the Anaheim Angels did, and that was a nice victory. Jason Hess says Canning. Also, Vetter says they almost had a comeback, unfortunately, and that happens every now and then. But look, I don't think it was ever in doubt. The Cardinals had only, I think, one other rally after that. They had a first and third situation, or first and second, with Goldschmidt up there, and they were able to turn 2 to end that inning. Phillips for the Stamos. He did get a Stamos. I'm positive that Loop is our black cat, Jason says. Canning did give up 5, but thankfully our bats exploded. That's true. Renifo for the Stamos. He did get 1. I was very, very happy. Since it's May the 4th, I give it to 4 guys. There you go. I got the Star Wars linked in there a little bit. By the way, if you ever want to piss off a Star Wars fan, because I have a lot of Star Wars friends, and also my girl's a Star Wars fan. But I like telling her, Captain Kirk was my favorite Jedi. She gets pretty pissed off when I say that. Also, the chair says Trout was out maybe because you want him fresh for the upcoming divisional games, and he's older. I know. May the 4th be with you. Thanks, Dan. Renifo was so close to riding his bike with Roger Lodge. He sure was. What hat are you wearing? What's the patch look like? It's the Rust version. And hold on. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, hold on. There you go. It's the 89 All-Star game. 89 All-Star game patch. So, yeah, it's a nice hat. I like the Rust look. It works because I have like an Angels black jersey on. It's not quite Rust, but I do like it. It has my old – I put my old podcast patch on it. I used to do the grinds with Matty Matt. We used to have a radio show, actually. And so that was a patch, and then I have the Angels patch over here. It's a pretty sick-ass jersey, and it says ToddFox in the back. He's got one, too. It says Matty Matt on the back. He might wear it there because he's coming tomorrow to the game, too. We're going to be sitting in a section. So, yeah, should be fun tomorrow. I'm telling you. Also, Phillips has a better average than Squiddy Poo. That's true. Jason says Neto is a baller, playing clearly injured, finally making his first error. Yeah, you know what? And that had to be because of that thing on his finger. I don't even count that one. Dude, like friggin' Neto has been just firing the ball over there perfect all year. I wouldn't have played Neto, but okay, Nevin, chair, and I'm with you on that one. Phillips is only because he is Phillips is only because he has less at bats. Yeah, I know he's over, but at least he got the hit today. I swear bullpen was awesome, but Loop. Yeah, everyone's saying Loop. Mateo, what's up? How you doing? Loop is like, oh, you want what? And then also Loop is like, oh, you want me to do the complete opposite? Haha. Also, Jason Hess says, after giving up 2 runs, what I just ate popcorn, longest yard. That's a good reference. Also, let's see. You like that. And then Little Wayne says, in the lowest of leverage situations, Aaron Loop can't be trusted. Why is he on the team? Perry trying to justify this disaster of assigning Perry has an easy time cutting Epler's mistakes, but not his. Ooh. See, that's a good point, Little Wayne. That is a very, very solid take because, it's easy to cut, like he said, other guys from, the previous regime, but the Loop thing is totally on Perry. And I don't know if he continues to pitch like this, there's no justification maybe in June of holding on to him. If he's not showing signs of progressing and getting better, if he continues to regress and you can't trust him, with all the players that we have that we could run out there, I think everyone's is over the whole Loop experiment. All I've ever heard is, hey, Loop's got a cool country song. That's about it. So it's like, I think for the most part, I would start thinking about eating his contract the rest of the year in June, or maybe seeing if someone wants to take a flyer on him, but I doubt it. They would much rather wait for the Angels to just drop the guy and then take a risk on him. But that's what I would do. I would just eat the contract. If you got these other pitchers ready to go, if you've got another lefty you can depend on, why the hell you need him? Seriously, this organization is filled with lefties. I don't think we need Aaron Loop at this point. Brett Phillips actually did something, Fernando says. He got a Stamos, don't worry about it. The entire clip on the longest yard is Loop and Thaiss. That's true. Thaiss, Wardski, and Thais. IE Native says Loop's punk ass needs to go ASAP. See, again, there's going to be no votes in his favor. And you know what, Fernando, if you're still on there, the question of the day tomorrow should be like, Aaron Loop, keep him or not, or cut him or keep him. Also, I hate how Thaiss frames, Jason says. Yeah, he's not the best framer. He definitely needs to work with Suzuki or whoever's taking care of the catchers. Thaiss got a Stamos. The world must be ending tomorrow. That's true. Let's see. Also learned that from, I was trying to put Kurt in a positive light, and the chair's like, nope. And he would teach him the opposite. Everyone showing up for a different series. Eventually, all the Angels cylinders will fire up. And that's the hope. That's the hope, because, again, we've said it before, if the big bats don't come through, you would love to see the other guys carry the team, and that's happened in the wins. But where we haven't seen the big guns, step up is when the supporting cast doesn't do the job. So if the big guys can start, hitting the balls, getting on base, and doing all the good stuff, the supporting cast will be right there to help out. Jason Hess says Stassi was still a better framer. That's the only thing that I will give you, Jason, that he's good at prior or better than the other catchers. I think his swing is atrocious. His eye is pretty good. Batter's eye is pretty good, but I think Wallach has a better batter's eye. I think even Thaiss is getting a better batter's eye because he's not striking out. He's taking a lot of walks. But I think, Stassi rolls into too many damn double plays. He's not smart in situations where you need a bunt or hit the other way. I like Wallach, and right now, I never thought I'd say that, but I like Wallach and Thaiss right now as the Angels catchers, and it just throws you for a loopy, the fact that we had O'Hoppe, and O'Hoppe was the man, and O'Hoppe was doing everything right, defensively, calling a game, throwing runners out, hitting the ball, situational hitting. So it's like clutch hitting. He was clutch. So it's like, damn, with that guy gone, maybe two guys can make one, meaning Thaiss and freaking Wallach can come through and be guys that can hit you 260 and just get on every now and then. They don't have to get on every time, but if you have a game like this today, it's a bonus. But if you can get one, maybe two hits is great for a night. But even if you don't get a hit and you go 0 for 3, but you draw a walk or two, or you had a sacrifice and a walk, those are great at bats. I'll take that. I'll take an 0 for 3, but if you got the sacrifice and a walk, you always want to do something positive at least. And if the catchers are coming through like that, that can only help this team get better as we go along. Jack Flaherty is cooked. Cardinals are too. Nacho for Loop. The certified Nacho head. He might take that job over since we don't see much of Paul Sereno anymore. I don't know if I ever heard the Cardinals fans boo their own team happen in the last 2 games. Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't seen that in such a long time because, again, this team has not been bad ever. Only maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Mateo says, other than this year, when was the last time the Angels scored 11 runs? Well, they've done it now 3 times. 3 times in this young season already. I understand why Estevez wasn't good. Going to be used today. It's a getaway day. But still, man, I know he pitched the last 2 nights, but he hasn't really thrown that much pitches. Grillmaster checks in with, I guess the cards were in our favor, or did we have a Cardinals sin? This guy. Grillmaster, you're giving us
emotional damage.
Feels good to sweep. It's been a long time, Javier says. It sure has. I'm happy that Canning did go 5 innings and at least got the win. Me too. May the 4th be with all you all today. Let's see. Canning with the back-to-back wins for the first time since 2021. Robert checks in with, would have liked to see Canning walk the 9-hole hitter with a 2-0 count instead of grooving a fastball down the middle. That is true. DFA Todd for that joke. Yeah, he does. He didn't like that Star Trek one. Been a while. Big 20 says, why did Captain Kirk go to the ladies' room? He wanted to go where no man has gone before. Well, a lot of men are going there now today, so that joke is not that good right now, as of, But yeah. He also says bald. Mateo says, now we know what the team can do when they're clicking on all cylinders. Star Wars over shit Trek. Yeah, I never liked Star Trek. Star Trek was so boring. Mateo says, bald Todd. No offense, Todd. I have love for you. Yeah, and the light's not helping with it shining off my head. And Grillmaster saying bald as well. 1989 All-Star game. That's badass. Thank you, Dan. I want a jersey. Put my favorite number on it. 6, of course.
How dare you?
Fernando says, hey, Sabotage, I'm calling you out. You and me at the WrestleMania. Loser has to get a Squiddy Poo tattoo and has to eat dinner in a rally suit with Rally Chris. That's too much to risk, man. Damn, that's like, that has to be on separate pay-per-views, one stipulation at a time, man. God damn. That's too much, man. That's evil. That's evil. Aaron makes us loopy. I've heard that one several times. Also, let's see. Is anyone convinced that Canning is finally turning into a pitcher we were waiting for? And he's making that upward trend, but, he has a setback like today. I got to see more and more from him, but that curveball is getting kind of nasty. Grillmaster also says, let's see, give it a few more starts, then I think we can revisit your comment, Mateo. I agree. Randy says, Theis is a dog. I think so. Right now, he's starting to turn into something, dude. Like he's starting to get it a little bit. All those years in the minors, maybe he's reinventing himself instead of the team and the organization reinventing him, switching him from first to catcher to this to that, work on your swing, don't do this, be a pull ball hitter. They dicked with him just as bad as they dicked with Ward. And now, it took Ward so many years to get to where he's at. He's turned into a fine young player. Maybe Theis is finally getting there. It's still too early. But again, if he's giving you one hit, every other night and productive outs the other night, I'll take it. We don't need to have him as a Yadier Molina behind the plate, and we don't need him to be a Buster Posey at the plate. Just need to get a hit every now and then, move a runner over, do the little things, and actually don't have catcher's interference, and we'll be all right. As long as he's not,
I'm so wasted.
If he's not that wasted to play, then we might have a chance with this guy. So who knows? Maybe with losing Ohapi for the year, and it's early on, so don't be like, oh, you're being too honkish on it. I'm not being honkish, but I'm just trying to look on the bright side. I mean, we lost probably the rookie of the year. Should have been the rookie of the year. He was trending that way. And you lose a guy like that, and if these two guys can make up one Ohapi, at least with similar stats or close stats or just be productive, I think it's still a win because you're growing two guys that you didn't have any stock in when it came into the season. I mean, think about it. With Ohapi on the team and Stassi on the team, these guys are 3-4s. These guys are still in Salt Lake right now, and one might be cut after a while. But now you're depending on these guys big time for the rest of the season. You just are. So sucks about Quijada is not is out, because then if he's healthy, you can move Loop. That's true. I think you would move Loop, but now maybe Loop buys more time. Ward is back. He's so freaking back. Randy says, and yeah, I mean 3 hits today. I'm so happy to see that too, because I mean he dipped down so far, and I'm glad that he's doing his thing. Let's see, dibs on the Loop question for tomorrow. Also, let's see, St. Louis was our get right team. We finna gonna F some fools up, and I think so. If again, Texas is not coming in completely healthy. We don't have to face DeGrom, but we got 3 good pitchers we're gonna be facing off against. So we're gonna need Tyler Anderson in that first game on Friday to pitch really good and set the tone in that series. And we're coming into it with an 18 innings, only allowing 2 runs, and those 2 runs were given up by Loop out of the bullpen. So if the bullpen can just keep at a similar pace or try to get close to that kind of pace, putting up as many zeros, it's going to give an offense like this plenty of chances to get back in games if we fall behind, or just explode like we did today and hold on for a victory. So, I mean, I would like for the Angels to give Anderson some more run support and Anderson not give it right back. Because Anderson, if you look at it, he's had 3 starts so far where he's actually gotten some pretty good run support. The trouble is he just gives it right back. So he has to, the important thing, my keys to tomorrow night's game is get shut down innings. Even if the Angels only get 1 run, get a 1, 2, 3, or just get out of that inning. I don't care how you do it. If you leave the bases loaded, just put the freaking 0 on the board and let's move on. That's probably the best thing he could do tomorrow. Also hitting the balls, and John Stamos, which is everyone's favorite freaking soundbite.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Randy also says we'll see who gets to it first, right there, meaning the question. Let's see. Also, went somewhere else here. See, I hate when it goes like that. There were a lot of productive at bats today. There was, but Stassi rolled into about, I think, 12 to 15 double plays last year, which is crazy. F. Sanchez, roll with what you got. We're good. Chad the Wallaker did his first name Wallach to some balls this season. To some what?
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
Also, catcher isn't really a weakness now. Whom would have thought that? Which is crazy because, again, with O'Hoppe in the regular season, that was like one of the things that was a question mark. How would the rookie do? And, he's coming through. But then he got hurt and he's gone for the year. And, again, we're depending on 2 guys who have taken the mantle and said, hey, man, we want to stay up here. We want to hit good. And, again, that's why, Perry might go out and get Sanchez for depth. But at this point, do you think we really need him? Like, I was on the Sanchez bandwagon, too, in the offseason because I didn't know what was happening with Stassi. I didn't think freaking, Wallach would be, used. I didn't think freaking Theis would come up here and actually perform like he has. I'm pleasantly surprised by that, and I like it. So there you go. Flaherty got shelled today, Mateo says. Also, Randy says, Canning has shown up this season. I'm quite impressed. Comeback player of the year, maybe. Star Wars bores me. Star crap. Let's see. How dare you, Todd? Soundboard right there. Yeah, people love their Star Wars.
How dare you?
Also, Angels have no pitching, the entire media, Grillmaster says. You skip Loop is poop. Oh, sorry, my bad, Dan, because he is a whole lot of and a lot of and a lot of and a lot of and a lot of, yeah, a lot of that. James, can you play the highlights, please? Again, I'm not James. James, just play the highlights. Well, you know what? Roger is always complaining about the highlights because he doesn't have many on his shows and he needs filler. So he's like, well, we ran out of UCLA talk and we ran out about WNBA stuff because, everyone wants to talk about Brittany Griner. And then I want to see who's taller, Brittany Griner or Bill Walton, but only if Walton takes off his shorts. And then I also want to talk about the Dodgers and that Kirk Gibson homer because we're the home of the Angels. And nobody, and I mean nobody, deserves Dodger intros like AM 830 fans. I know you're always wanting to hear Vin Scully, and you're always wanting to hear Tommy Lasorda and Kirk Gibson's home run because we're the home of the Angels. And it makes sense to put that on our intro because you know they would do the same thing for us. Fuck that. I still hate, I've emailed that guy. I've called him. I even told him one time, I gave a take about the Angels. And then I said, hey, Roger, I have one more question. And he said, what's that? And I said, why do you have Dodgers click? Because I'm not the first one that says it. Why do you have anything Dodgers on the intro? I hate that. Dude, even if Roger was semi-competent as an announcer or a radio host or just a radio personality, and he was interesting, because he's not. He's full of cheese. But if he was, I would not listen to the intro. I can't stand him, dude. Like, how do you put Dodger highlights on an Angels show? You just don't do that. The effing, look, as much as I hate the Los Angeles name, every guy, I challenge you, put it on 570K, whatever their station is, right? On the radio side especially, they will not refer to the Angels as Los Angeles. And on TV for a while, they were still calling us Anaheim. The league mandates you to say Los Angeles because it's in the name. They kept and still do call us Anaheim. They don't respect us, so why the fuck do we respect them? Don't give them an inch, they'll take a mile. It's the same reason why you see like at least 13 to 15 morons with Dodger blue come into our stadium. Just because they want attention. They're attention whores. They're A, too scared to go to their own stadium, too poor to go to their own stadium, and 3, they just want everyone to be like, wrong stadium, guy. Hey, the Dodger Stadium's that way. They love hearing that crap. They love hearing that crap. Don't even entertain them the next time you see one at a stadium. Just flip them in the bird and keep walking. That's what I like to do. That's my little rant, though. I freaking hate the Dodgers. Oh, God, Roger pisses me. Just talk about balls, Roger.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Exactly. Let's see. Also, the chair says, remember, how many times did Mark Trumbull had to change positions in 2012? Yeah, that was another cluster F right there. I'm so wasted, Grillmaster says. I miss Trumbull. Yeah, Trumbull fell off, though. He had a couple really good years, though, in Baltimore. Really good years.
I'm so wasted.
And then he got wasted. Let's see. Can we please stop with the loopy jokes? Yeah, I know. He really needs some new material. That's all I'm saying. Grillmaster, he likes to recycle. Let's see. What does Papa Fox want to say after this game? He was very happy. He was like, boy, did you see we scored 11 runs and got 16 hits? That's how you're supposed to do it. You don't always have to hit the home runs. You could just bloop them in there. We'll take that any day. I'm like, hey, you're right. You're right. Anderson does scare me too, Randy. Also, Anderson had a good start last Friday against Milwaukee. He's going to need to recreate that start. Also, no Seager or DeGrom for Texas this upcoming season or upcoming series. But the thing is, though, the chair, that's one thing, according to Joe Madden, that we dodged in this series. Joe Madden came out, obviously, last year and said that the greatest hitter he's ever seen was Corey Seager. And I'm like, that dick can't even stay healthy for a full season. And he's the greatest hitter you've ever seen. And apparently he was because he walked him with the bases loaded. So Corey Seager, the best hitter of all time. Don't give me this Ohtani stuff. Don't give me this Barry Bonds stuff, Pete Rose, Tony Gwynn. None of those guys count. A guy that never plays 162 games is the greatest hitter. That's how you know. That's how you know Joe Madden was in the mystery machine smoking several bowls with an imaginary Scooby-Doo being 6'7", somehow fitting in that van. Because, I mean, there's no way. There's no... You don't walk Barry Bonds in his prime. I mean, they were called out when they actually did that one time. The Diamondbacks walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded to force in a run, and then they took their chances with a batter behind him, which I think was either Matt Williams or Jeff Kent, and they got out of it and won the game. But he was damn lucky at that point. We were losing the game, and that moron decided to walk Corey Seager. Another reason why Joe Madden is not here. Nats fan says, at least we're not facing DeGrom. I agree with that. Also, Big 20 said, yes. Let's see. The chair says, I want to light a fire under Anderson, but I think he's a calm-mannered person. Yeah, he is, dude. He is. Balls to the walls. Also, we do have, let's see, where is that one right here? Oh, yeah. We have this one. We hope that this is not a Suarez or Anderson start.
Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches. Boy, how can these guys lay off pitches that close?
Baseball question. You played in the minors, yes? Okay. Per MLB rules, is it not legal to take signs from the catcher while the pitcher is not on the rubber? Ohtani is giving signs to the catcher. There is really no rule. You can take – that's why if you watch any game, whether it's high school, professional, whatever, travel ball, you'll see managers or coaches come up to the pitchers and they're hiding. If they don't have a glove, they put their hand over their mouth. There's lip readers at any point. You can steal signs. I mean, that's why a lot of people were like, well, the Dodgers were cheating here. The Red Sox were cheating here. The Astros did this. Okay, shit like that when you're banging drums and doing stuff like that, that's outside of the rule. That's not baseball. But baseball has been about trying to, like any other sport, football tries to do the same thing, stealing. That's why you have all those different if you've seen in college football, they have those posters with different signs, and only the players know which one on the poster that is actually the picture that they're using. Signs are stolen all the time. The game is about trying to get an edge on your opponent any way you can. Sign stealing is done at any time of the game. Tipping your pitches can even be something that they see you doing in the freaking bullpen before the start. So there's always, the same cameras we have on the bullpen, they have there live in the stadium. So they're able to see everything, so they're able to, if they're not looking at it, eyeing it like they did in the old days, they're looking at it to see, hey, what did he just call there? What is he asking? What's he going to do? Blah, 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 blah. So yes, you can steal whenever. There's no freaking penalty against that whatsoever. Let's see. Also, there's no way Suarez has the same success on Sunday, right? We can only hope. We don't know. MLB never predicted signs given wirelessly. That's the thing, too. Now, too, a lot of these teams are just going to the whole wireless thing in the pitcher's head. They can call the pitches back and forth. There's just ways of doing it now to get away from it. So the game is at least progressed, and maybe that, it helps you stop doing that. So who knows? Let's see. Also, Fernando says, James, play the Renifo home run again, please. Balls, and John Stamos. We'll play that one more time because it's such a good one.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Also, wow, Renifo actually showed up. He did actually, and he did a good job today. Let's see. I'll give him attention. They see bitch ad Dodger fans. Or bitch ass Dodger fans, exactly. Your impression of Dodger fans sounds like Matt Theis. Smurf is on the wrong turf. That's true. He's on He's on year 3 of recycling the same jokes, and he thinks he needs to explain them. Signs of a comedic genius. That's Randy going after Grillmaster. Well, all need to mob to the Angels versus Lodge's game in Anaheim. Or Dodgers game, I think you meant to put. Yeah. But problem is this year it's the every other year rule. Last year was on the weekend series for both series. This year it's in the middle of the week, so it's gonna be hard for a lot of fans to get there. Madden was high when he said that. Lori Seeger, I think your C is not working on your, or your D is working on your. No, actually, it looks like you're intentionally doing that, Hayes. Low laden. Let's see. Grillmaster says, to me, it's really crazy how. I'm not reading that one. I'm not reading that one, dude. I have to agree with Rand. I got to kill you with Randy's comment, bro. Come on, man. I warned you. I'm giving you, I swear to God, I see Cotton Eye Joe one more time on my damn live chat, and I'm going to ban you. I am so sick of hearing about it because it reminds me of the fucking song I hate that's like freaking, it sticks in my ears. It's worse than this. It sticks in my ear. I can't stand it. Where did you come from? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? Fuck that song. Stop it. No more. I swear, Grill Master, you're going to be fired. I'm going to hire you just to fire you. Let's see. Also, Madden on that Grateful Dead weed. Yeah, he's going way back. Let's see. Also, the Angels won that game. Imagine if they would have lost, fired right away. No 14-game losing streak. Let's see. Also, gets ball. Let's see. Tenu gets box if a kid isn't on the rubber taking signs. I don't know, dude. I've never, ever heard of that before. Hayes says John Boy should work for the Angels so he can lip read the other team to get our opponent's edge. Yeah, if he could do that live, that's freaking crazy. But he's one of the best at it. I should be clear with my question. Isn't that a balk? My bad. Oh, if you toe the rubber and you start your motion though, and then you stop, and you're not throwing over, calling timeout, or the umpire calls timeout, yeah, it's a balk. Even without the sign, yeah, that is a balk. Get the brooms out right there. Big 20 says, boy, that team sure sucked last night. It just plain sucked. I think he's calling out another one right here. Where is that one? Geez, because some of these I don't use as much, so it's kind of hard to find them sometimes. There we go.
Yeah, Mo, that team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Exactly. Thanks, Homer. To me, it's crazy how Joe Madden walked Corey Seager with the bags loaded, and we won. You're welcome. Didn't say it. Well, yeah, we won that game, but still. So the number to call in is 714-598-3221. Probably hard to get a phone call today because of what's it called? Being a midday show and whatnot. Nats fan says, someone play the song Dumas Walker for Todd. Let that one get stuck in your head. That song drives me nuts. Oh, my God. There's just certain songs that I can't take. And when that one comes on, it's like, it's...
All right, I'm sure that we can handle this situation maturely, just like the responsible adults that we are. Isn't that right, Mr. Poopy Pants?
That's what I think Grillmaster's jokes are right there. Last night was the first time in a while that Mike Trout was clutch for the W. Dude, look, I'll just say this. That was huge. And that's what we've been waiting for all freaking year. And it doesn't seem like a long time, but it is when you think about the spectrum of over 30 games in and you're wanting a huge hit. And he's come through with hits. I mean, no one's complained that he's not a great hitter. It's just like, man, we just needed those big hits. And like Ohtani too. Ohtani's been kind of heating up. But if you got the two power guys, I'm telling you, that are supposed to do the big freaking damage, you add these other guys who are potentially going to hit 20 to 25 home runs in there, you've got a nice nucleus and a nice supporting cast of really hard-hitting hitters that are gonna force, you know, the lower end of the lineup and the top end to get better pitch to. You know, they're going to get better pitches because you're scared of that murderous row. You're scared of guys coming through. Rendon should be raking the ball a little bit better. Maybe he'll get there. He's starting to hit the ball a little farther, so maybe the home runs will start coming. But we don't really need him for home runs. If he's walking, getting singles and doubles, and bringing guys in, well, then there you go. That's all you need, and that's why I love seeing this team go. Vetter said, how did the 714 tickets meeting go today? It went fantastic. We got a number for the tickets. They're going to give me a price. I'm still waiting on that. That's the only thing I'm waiting on Ron Holt for. And then it should be very discounted for everybody. And I'll let you guys know exactly where we're sitting. We're going to have good seats, and it should be good. Another thing, though, that went through that didn't go through, which is kind of frustrating because of the temperature in the room with the beer itself. Now, if you know, Golden Brew is right across the street from Anaheim Stadium, correct? And that is a hotbed for Angels fans. So to expand what we were trying to do, we pitched to them, hey, we want to be on the patio. We want to do a pregame show or a postgame show, or we want to do a podcast live there, give out merchandise, maybe huck some of your stuff there as well. And, you know, we'll have some 714 ticket love too, because they were willing to give us, and we were going to get some in the next couple days, some family 4-packs, but we were going to give them out there live, right? And so it just seemed really good that we can, you know, put the word out on our podium and our platform and say, hey, you know what? Let's get as many Angel fans out there. They already get a good size amount of people. People knew us when we walked in to talk to them, so it's like, okay, cool. They already know us, and some fans recognize us walking through. I was sure, I had to have my ToddFox jersey on. But, you go in there, and everything's cool. I talked to both managers. I talked to the general manager. Everything seemed cool, right? And so I wrote out with Steve Elise the freaking itinerary, what we needed, and showed them pretty much what we can offer them, what they can offer us, and how we could partner. All sounded good. I thought it was a slam dunk. And then freaking late last night, I get a call from Morgan, and she says, hey, you know what? I just got off the phone with Anheuser-Busch. What's Anheuser-Busch in the news for? The whole Dylan Mulvaney issue. So the way at first she told me didn't make sense, but then I thought about it, and it makes total sense. So because of the Bud Light fiasco, which has gone on, and which is, whatever side you take, whatever, I don't care. What happened was she literally said that if you go to Golden Brew's freaking social media, it's pretty much been silent, and everyone associated with Anheuser-Busch is in a wait-and-see mode. And for the next, I guess, what's the term called? For the nothing is set in stone, or nothing is, what is it called? For the foreseeable future, till things turn around for the company, or they figure out a way to, because they try to throw the horses at you to get you to drink Bud Light again. But the thing is, it's got such a bad rap. It's being made fun of so bad. They don't want to risk getting any more bad publicity no matter what they post. And they can't partner with anybody at this moment, because she told me the higher-ups like the idea because they know the layout of that particular brewery, the person that has to give the okay or not. But they can't do anything right now because they don't want to, get a podcast involved, and what if we talk shit and it comes back on them? So she gave me all the legalities and all the different things that they're paranoid about right now. And so we kind of had to just be like, okay. And I said, so, well, what about the future? Because this is something that, like, we don't want to not revisit this. Like we love your location. We expect and we can see big things happening if we work together. And she said, no doubt, but for right now, until they give me the okay, or that we can, because she said we've had to tell other sponsors and other people that want to get involved with us pretty much no. And I told her, I said, hey, I appreciate the freaking heads up. I appreciate the honesty. And she's like, yeah, there's just a lot going on with the company, with our parent company. They pull the strings. I mean, like, we can suggest things, but if they say no, we can't do it. But look, we had everybody, the entire crew there wanting us to be there. But just the higher-ups have a freeze on everything. So it sucks because I was wanting to make the announcement that starting June, because Kyle, the manager over there, the general manager, told me, hey, man, if we can get started, I would love to do this at the start of June. And I was like, dude, we can do that. And I already had someone that was going to help out and everything, and we were ready to roll. But that's what happened, and so I just letting you guys know. I mean, I really wanted that one to come through. It would have been a great partnership with us, 714 Tickets, and Golden Brew. I mean, you would have been your ticket hookup. We would have been your freaking. They were willing to give us 10% off of appetizers, family meals, and I was trying to talk them into alcohol. That was a sticking point at first. I was like, hey man, can you like half off a beer or something like that after you buy one at full price, something like that. But I got the appetizers for sure. I got the family dinner, or the I guess they have some sort of like dinner there or something, like where you can. They were willing to take 10% off of that. But like their special or whatever, they're going to give like a heaty special for dinner. So we would have had the food hookup too and the ticket hookup. I mean, come on. And we would have been right there broadcasting live, giving away cool stuff. It all made sense. But Anheuser-Busch is going through what they're going through right now, and they just, whatever, dude. So that's the long story on that. So sorry, I just had to get into that. Also, let's see. Rice says hell froze over. Phillips got an RBI. He also got a Stamos today. Grillmaster also says even though Rendon having solid production, Steve Lewis will say he sucks. That's for sure. How do you feel about the pitch clock so far, ToddFox? I do like it, and I don't like it. I like it for a fact that you have that opportunity to you got to be on your toes as a batter. You got to be on your toes as a pitcher. I think you only get 1 or 2 step offs or something like that per inning. Only 1 timeout per at bat. So there's none of that. No more Garcia Parra stepping out every 5 seconds, which I love. I wish he would have got a taste of his own medicine if he was still playing. He annoyed the crap out of me as a player, both for Boston and LA. And then you look at things as far as, it speeds the game up. Granted, that's good. The ratings are up, but when you're in the stadium, it cheapens the experience. So there's always a good with a bad, and it cheapens the experience because you can go to a freaking line to get something to drink, something to eat, and then freaking you come back and you've missed an inning and a half, maybe even 2, depending on the line and depending on what you're eating. Speaking of the pitch clock at our game last night out here in Fullerton, USC's batter was up with 2 men on base, first and third, 2 outs with 2 strikes. The batter got called out for the strike automatic time violation. Damn, that's pretty sick. We saw that a couple times in preseason as well. Let's see. Also, let's see. Vetter says try to do it at Brewery X. It's all ages and good food. I might try that over there. That's a good suggestion, Vetter. I might try to do that. Hayes says lame. Who gives a fuck about Bud Light and all that bullshit? Well, you know what? Here's the thing too. Bud Light was the #1 beer in America. Sales have fallen 30%, and it's still dipping, and that's huge. Modelo might be your go-to beer because, believe it or not, Bud Light was pretty much the beer, which was the go-to. It's the cheapest. It's like in certain areas, yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon, stuff like that, Old Milwaukee, drinks like that. But for the most part, I mean, you can always go to a grocery store and be like, well, I mean, you could pay this for an 805, which I love 805, but you could pay like, $24, almost $30 for like a 12-pack of or 24-pack of 805, but Bud Light's always under $20, no matter if it's bottles or cans, and that was a beer that everyone just went to. Anheuser does own Modelo, but Modelo is jumping ahead as far as a popular beer because you know why? Not that many people know the fact that Modelo is owned by Bud Light, and that's the reason why it's jumped up there as well. Let's see, injury was Neto's throwing hand. It was blitz, but somehow he was in the lineup and somehow he played good. Anheuser doing the silent marketing, hoping people will forget about it all. They sure are, Robert. Let's see. The set position pitchers shall take signs from the catcher while in contact with the pitcher's plate. Sorry if I'm beating the dead horse. They might consider changing that rule. Thoughts? It's gotta work with the game, and if it's not making a controversy right now, and if players are, I mean, I know pitchers are frustrated, but I wouldn't change it unless it costs you a game, and I think that's what they're going to do. If it costs a game, if it's an injury somehow, that's the only way they're going to change things. I just don't see it happen. I mean, look what happened. You used to be able to block the plate for anything. Buster Posey gets ran over and tears his ligaments in his knee, and all of a sudden you can't hit the catcher no more. So it depends on who it happens to and why it happened, and that's how usually rules are. Same way, like if you have a street and you're like, why isn't there a left turn signal there? And then someone you see car accidents there all the time, but when someone finally dies, then you're just like, oh, there's a street light a couple weeks later, that kind of stuff. Let's see. You get 2 disengagements from the mound and just disengage from the pitching rubber or to throw to first base. Yeah, you get 2 right there. Modelo time fool for sure. Dan says, try Noble Brewery, close to the Honda Center. Great for before and after Ducks and Angels game. Bottles and cans, just clap your hands, just clap your hands. Love that song, by the way. Beck. And I have to try both those, Noble Brewery and Brewery X. It's because, okay, if you've ever been to Golden Brewery, and this is why I'm going to keep beating the dead horse with that. If you look, when you first walk in from the parking lot, go to your left, you have that huge setup with everyone outside, right? But there's this, if you walk down the first walkway past the couches on your left side, You have literally an open area, maybe 8x8. That's all I need. That is all I need. That's all James needs. That's all the other James. So I was going to have him bring his stuff out because he has a bunch of, James Malou has a gang of like karaoke stuff and speakers and amplifiers and all this other stuff and a table, and boom, right there is where you can have a 2-man crew working it. One person working the crowd, one person working the live and the computer stuff, and you've got a show. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a pregame show, whether it's this postgame show. That's all you need. And you would have been able to give away stuff, say specials about the food, talk them up, talk up 714 tickets, give out a package there, and it just would have been fun. It just would have been fun. And that's the thing that we're missing out on, because, like, man, I wish I would have talked to them in the off season. Like, this stuff didn't come to me till midway through April. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to hit the road a little bit and talk to some people. And that's how I got the 714 tickets. But I really, really was trying for this place. I actually had Bessos, but they're not what we're looking for, because they said yes, but they're fine dining, man. I mean, no one's going to go in there and be like, no one wants biscuits and not biscuits and gravy. No one wants a steak, or not steak. What's that called? No one's going to be like filet mignon, gravy, mashed potatoes, and string beans or not Brussels sprouts, freaking I can't name anything right now. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like it's finer dining. It's like $20 a plate more. Golden Brewery's not cheap either, but it's more of your manly food. It's your burgers, it's your bratwurst, it's your freaking appetizers, finger foods, chicken wings, stuff like that. That's what we were looking for. So we got accepted for Bessos, but we had to kind of like be like, nah, this is not going to work. So in the brewery, you got to have beer around baseball. Whether you got young adults there, they could still bring their pops and their moms to hang out, uncles, brothers, whatever. And it just works out. So even if we have the younger crew that, they could tell their parents, hey, man, come down to we can go here. It's all ages, blah, blah, blah. Because it is kind of all ages except I think a certain point at Golden Brewery. But pregame, so it would have been great. But, yeah, we just have had so much going on. And I really thought we would nail this stuff out by the end of the month. But or by the end of April. But now it looks like it's going to be a couple more weeks before we get all of our releases due to some stuff that happened here, too. So, yeah, it looks like what Mateo's saying. If you're new to the show, new to the freaking page, we've done trucker hat trivia sometimes 2 times a week, where we would, we give out a trivia question, Angels related, MLB related. If you're the first one to comment, you get the freaking hat, and then we send it to you. And we had our own custom hats, or we made Heedy logos or stuff like that, and we sent it out, and it was all on us. For you, the fan. And so we have other stuff like that coming with jerseys and hats and coffee mugs, but it's taking a little bit longer, but we should be there. We started doing a few practice shirts, and it looks like we're good on that. We just need to get everything together, and then we're going to start shooting the merchandise out too. So finally, that stuff will start happening. I wanted to start the trucker hat trivia this month. I still might be able to do that, but it may be towards the end. If not, for sure, we'll start in June. I know we wanted to do this all year long, but again, it was a hard off season for all of us. We were all going through some kind of BS, and it's hard to freaking do this 100%. This is our hobby. This is something we like to do. And, we also don't want to be a chintzy podcast like all these other pages. We want to be someone that's there for the community, and that you could see us at the game. You could talk baseball with us at the game. We're like your friends. And because that's who we are. We're not trying to fake the funk. If we met you guys in person, or gals in person, we'd be the same way, podcast or no podcast. Love talking Angels baseball. Love watching it. We can even shoot the shit. This show has gone different ways so many times. You know what I mean? So it's all good, man. But yeah, I'm sorry, Mateo, it's not going as fast as we wanted it to, but it'll eventually get there, and I promise you soon. Dan says, or actually, let me clip over here to Fernando says, not in New Jersey. Left turns aren't illegal like the 80s in all states. Also, an opposing manager would consider telling the umpire to call a balk because Shohei is doing signs off the rubber with the runner on. if I'm correct. The opposing manager is damn right for asking for a balk. That is true. That is true. He also, if you see, he holds his glove to his, like up on his shoulder and stuff like that too. He does do some quirky stuff, but I think they overlooked that because of the use of the damn, what is it called? The speaker or whatever. Vetter says, damn, I'm sorry but X is better. It's in Anaheim Hangout during the games, and it's a nice place, clean, great pizza and food. The drinks are nice also, according to my dad. All right, I'm going to try that then because I'm probably going to be in the area tomorrow anyway before the game. So if I have time before the game, I'm going to run it over there. Let's see. Brussels sprouts are good. They are, if they're made good. Dave & Buster's for a partnership. How close is the Dave & Buster's to the – is that in the Grove right there? Because that would be pretty dope, but it would be – the only thing is being inside that place would be very hard to record and very hard to go live because of the noise factor. We would literally have to get one of the private rooms, and the only reason why the patio works is because you're outside, and then you have, you'd want to hear the fans cheer, but you turn the volume up just enough. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do have good acoustics in there, but I don't know. Nats fan says Brussels sprouts. Oh my God, gross, James. Yeah, you know what? I'll stick up for James in this one. Put a little teriyaki sauce on half-cut Brussels sprouts. Throw them in the oven. Sprinkle a little cheese on them. I'm telling you, that is a good little snack. I swear to God, Brussels sprouts are really, really underrated. I used to hate them as a kid, and only because they were green and healthy for you. But as you get older, you're like, asparagus, not too bad. Brussels sprouts, not bad. And so I started making the move over to the healthier stuff. Let's see. Also, don't fake the funk on that nasty dunk. Robert says, how much to get Todd in the rally thong with a Bud Light? All proceeds go to Dude, if I'm in a rally thong with a freaking Bud Light, I'll be canceled, and this show will go in the trash. Joey says, fry them in bacon. That's fire. Ooh, that's right. Yes, Brussels sprouts with bacon is really, really good. Bacon bits or wrapped in bacon, or because we would do that with the asparagus, wrap them in bacon and then throw a little cheese on them, let them go in the oven for a little bit. Some people air fry them. They come out pretty good. I mean, the only thing is it's all about with the asparagus, getting the right ones and also getting them. You don't want them too skinny and you don't want them too fat, and then you don't want to undercook them, because if you undercook them, they get real stringy. But you want them. I like them crispy anyway. I like them crispy. But Brussels sprouts very underrated. Make some of that with because I like some of the Irish cuisine. And so they sometimes use Brussels sprouts. They have the shepherd's pie, which I love, but the beef or beef, not so much the goat. I'm not too much of a goat fan. Why does this get into food? See, you did it. You did it again, Chair. You did it again. Freaking James. Let's see. Todd would be looking crispy in a thong at the beach.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I know that, dude.
See, are we still talking about Brussels sprouts the way you were describing cooking them? I like to cook, okay? That's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love to cook. It's something that, like... Oh, got a phone call. It's the Halo Honk line.
First time, long time. I've turned this post-game show into the Food Network. I apologize a trillion times.
James!
How dare you?
Hey, like I said, first time, long time. Great to get the sweep today. I actually fell asleep, and all of a sudden the game was 11-7. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Loopy things, man. Like Grillmaster likes to say. Grillmaster with his brand new jokes.
I hate that song too, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all the other songs I hate. You know, I used to hate The Tide is High by Blondie, but I think I'm over that. There's other ones out there, like Meet Me in St. Louis. I thought that was an awful movie or song. But the Angels loved St. Louis, I guess. Hey, man, this was a great series. A lot of players hit that you didn't think would hit. I mean, Matt Seiss, what the hell? He's hitting well. And they have Renfroe today. I know it was on a curveball, but Jack Flaherty served it up. And it was only fitting and only right that Renfroe knocked it out. And that was great to put up double digits on a team for once and not having that done to us. That feels good as hell.
Yeah, it's
and to have go ahead.
I was just going to say it's our third time scoring double digits this year, and we're 2-1. Remember, we lost that game 12-11 to Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
The one game I didn't watch because it was Easter and my family needed me to help cook some stuff. I wish Brussels sprouts and asparagus was a part of it, but my family doesn't eat healthy like that. But yeah, that was the only game I missed of that series because, of course, we were at the first two. But yeah, you can tell this team has the offense, and that's never been an issue. The offense has always been there, you would think, on paper, and then sometimes it disappears, but sometimes it comes back. Like I always mention, the three phases of the game, offense, defense, and pitching. If all of it's going together, you're going to have a good team. And I guess in this series, it finally all went together. This series coming up with Texas, it's huge.
Yep.
And then with Houston, with the less divisional games, only facing teams 13 times in your division each, that's going to be a very crucial. I know I'm going to be saying this a lot on the pre-games, but every one of those series against your divisional opponents is going to be crucial, and I can't wait for tomorrow. You know where I'm getting my tickets at, right, Todd?
714 tickets. 714 tickets.
Yeah, go today, buy tomorrow, or go whenever the ticket says to go. Basically.
Exactly.
For you Laker fans out there or Warrior fans, Game 3 will be Saturday night. And if you have a lot of money in your bank account, you'll be able to go.
Yeah.
And why not go with 714 tickets and save 10% off like you need to? Put in the code HITI, and there you go. And then enjoy that $100 parking around Crypto.com Arena and hope your car is still there. Hey, man, I'm encouraged by Theiss. I mean, the bullpen's a little better, other from Loop, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned in comments, dude, if Quijada was coming on well, but then needed the Tommy John, that's unfortunate. And like you mentioned, yeah, it might be the last time we see him in the Angel uniform, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
I know, yeah.
I was just going to say, with Tucker Davidson starting to pitch good, too, it's like, yeah, Loop would have been out. I forgot about that. Quijada pitches, they would have said, we don't need him no more.
Yeah. I really like what Tucker Davidson has been able to bring to the table here. He is not a starter at this point, and he may never be a starter again. Who knows? Maybe he's good in this long role here as a pitcher, a long inning reliever. That's fine. I'll take that every day because sometimes you'll have a spot starter or a starter who doesn't do well. We know that. With Suarez and Anderson doing that. So it's good to have someone like Tucker Davidson. That's fine as hell. That's fine. We need all the arms we could get and more coming from what I've heard. So I'm happy to say we had a sweep for once, and I can't wait for tomorrow and Saturday, and then I'm possibly going to go Monday to check out Ohtani's next start against Houston to start that series up. Man, that's, again, crucial games coming up. And then on the road again to Cleveland, and then 4 in Baltimore. That's going to be hell against those teams. I don't care what their records are going to be. They're always tough in Cleveland and Baltimore, and the Angels never play good there.
Yeah, Ohio always scares me because their pitching's so good. They're not. They don't really have hitters that can kill you. But if you're in a low scoring game with them, they'll find, like a blind squirrel, they'll find a nut. So they'll get a big hit to 3-run homer late, and then all of a sudden you're losing 3-2 when you're winning 2-0. That's the kind of games that I expect over there. And then Baltimore, anything can happen there. I mean, that place can sometime be a home run haven for either team or both. Could turn into a shootout, or it could be, a shutout. So that's going to be an interesting road trip. But yeah, this Texas-Houston one, I have to agree 100%, especially the Texas one, because I want to see how they match up against us. They're not the same Texas team of the last 4 years. So this one's definitely going to be like, again, Tucker Davidson, I think this is going to be a crucial start for him. He cannot give up runs at the pace he was prior to the Brewers game.
Or Tyler Anderson.
Tyler Anderson, my bad. Yeah, Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, it'd be nice not to have to see Tucker Davidson.
Yeah,
that would be the key. I would really enjoy that. And you got to have Tucker and damn it, I'm getting confused. Brussels sprouts Anderson.
Yes.
No, we got to have Tyler Anderson come out right away, like you mentioned, set the tone, and just go out there and do it, man. Just keep the ball low. I would say that. Don't pitch middle in to lefties. They'll kill it.
Just don't walk any of these guys. Texas is stealing a lot of bases. So
them and the Pirates and the Rays, they're all stealing bases. Mm-hmm. And how many bases have the Angels stolen, I wondered?
I think we're up to, I want to say 9 or 10.
That is despicable.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, some of these guys get about 9 or 10 in a week.
Dude, they threw over twice. You can run. You can go halfway if you want to. Go.
He could start like skipping to second base.
Even I could steal second. Well, no, let's be realistic.
Don't go too far there, James.
All right, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, no. So I'll see you tomorrow. We'll touch base. Baseball term.
There you go.
I'm gonna let Hammer have the floor because I heard he wants to call in.
Yeah, he's dying.
We're all gonna go surfing since the sun is out now, at least where I am.
And by the way, I love Juan's comments here. He says, Angels swept today. Does that mean Todd's wearing a red thong? And then Fernando says, only the OnlyFans. And then Juan says, I need that OnlyFans account. I love you, Juan. I love you, man.
Well, Todd, guess what? Look. Okay, so since they swept St. Louis and they got the win in Milwaukee, okay, what if they sweep Texas, and what if they take the first two in Houston? That's 10 in a row, right?
Let's see. It's
what we agreed with.
No, 10 in a row, and I bring Rally Chris to every Friday night game the rest of the season.
Oh, don't do that.
That was the bet, and then that's 10 in a row at any point in the season, and I have to take Rally Chris to every Friday night game, every Friday night home game. But as far as the thong thing, I'll say this: if they sweep Texas and Houston, F it, I'll wear the thong.
Let's go. Let me see. I'm that. Well, anyway, like JP says in that one movie, it could happen.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Guess how many loads of laundry I've done and how many I have left.
6 loads and 5 to go.
No, I'm not that crazy. 4, and I got 2 more.
Damn, that's still a lot for a guy, though. But
because I haven't washed, I got so many clothes. I guess. With
so.
Work clothes and other stuff like that. I'm yeah, I don't know what, but I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see everybody at the game. Tag Halos in the infield. Maybe we'll have a meetup or something Saturday with the Halo Honk the Clown.
Yep.
Ask him some clown questions.
Yes, we will be clowning around.
The clown car will be there.
Oh, God.
We'll get out of there. All right, Todd and everybody, check y'all later.
All right, take it easy, James.
Blue, you're my boy!
Yep. James, you're my boy! That's for sure right there. Let's see. Fernando says James has too many Heaty shirts to wash. All right, so got to get this last phone call in. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd. What's up?
I know that, dude.
I'm so happy we swept our first series today, and I'm so happy we won finally, and we took the series finally.
Yes, we finally got one, dude.
Yeah, and 2 weeks and so I go party at the river now, almost. this weekend. It will be starting 2 weeks.
You're gonna be partying at the river, huh?
Yeah, 'cause I'm going to the river for my birthday.
That's awesome, dude.
So, yeah, and right now I'm hanging out with friends and cruising today because the game's over and I have nothing else to do.
Are you gonna be at the game tomorrow?
No, I'm not going to any more games probably till the summer after my birthday.
All right. I was hoping to hook up with you again, say hi and everything.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll see me in games in the summer. Yeah. What's it called? Yeah. So my friends are trying to talk, but I'm not letting them because I'm the only guy that knows about it. But they want to know, like, hey, who are you talking to? And yeah, but I'm going to the surf contest tomorrow, surfing, and it's a beautiful day out here. But it's almost the weekend. Oh yeah.
There you go, man. You gotta let us. You gotta take some pictures of you surfing, man. Post them.
Oh yeah, I will. But we'll see. And then hopefully we can take 2 of 3 from Texas, and then 2 of 3 from the Astros, or sweep them both, and go into it. And I'll call in tomorrow night.
All right,
yeah.
brother. All right, have a good one, man.
There it is.
That is Big Hammer right there. You can't have a show without Big Hammer. That's what everyone better can't wait. Oh, one more call. It's the Halo Honk line. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Hell yeah, we won. Let's go.
Hell yeah, Super. We got the sweep, man.
Yes, I'm so happy. This is the momentum we need against Texas and Houston. We need to really take them on, and this is what we need, a sweep.
Yeah, it would have been disappointing to have a losing road trip. So coming home a little bit hot, you got to take advantage. And I'm telling you, those first 3 innings on tomorrow night's game are going to scare me so much because I just don't want to see him over pitching, getting too many pitches thrown, getting guys on base. Maybe they get a clutch hit or two and we're losing, and then we might have to think about going to the bullpen early. Like, we really need Tyler Anderson to have a good start.
Yeah. And we need a DFA Luke. He sucks, man. I'm done with him. I can't trust him with a 20 run lead. I can't trust him anymore. We need to bring anyone but Luke.
Yeah, Loop's been a problem, I think, towards the start of last season. No, towards the end of last season, because he would get ahead of all these hitters, and then all of a sudden he throws an 0-2 pitch up in the zone, and guys are crushing him. I'm like, man, dude, he's got to have a better strikeout pitch, and he just doesn't have one, and these guys tee off on him, dude.
Yeah, it's really bad. He's a really good reliever, but I can't trust him just right now. He needs to go to AAA and figure it out, I think.
Well, he doesn't. The problem is he has no options. So if they were to just cut him, then or try to, you can't get rid of him. Basically, you have to cut him or DFA him, and he would be on the market. Maybe another team would pick him up. I don't think the Angels would take him back, but who knows?
Well, at this point, we really need to win. So I'm willing to cut Luke and just bring up Joyce or anyone, Batchman. I don't really care who Perry decides to bring up if they have DFA Luke, but he's just costing us games, man. He cost us the first game of the season. He cost us he cost us many games, and it's really really stresses me out when I see him pitch.
Yeah, he's a guy that again before last season, I would say early on, when he got his ERA down, he was looking like the Loop from a couple years ago. Him and Teperi, you're okay, I'm good with these two guys setting up Raciel. Then when Raciel left, things kind of changed. Because last year he settled in after the whole Madden crap, and he was pitching pretty good. But he started pitching crappy down the stretch, and then you thought he would get back. He said he was, I thought something was wrong in the first game of the season when he came out and said that he was so scared. I'm like, how are you scared in Oakland? There's like nobody there.
Yeah.
That's the least. The least amount you should be scared is in that stadium. And he said he pitched terrible, and I'm like, yeah, you did. And like that was a game, like you said, Ohtani should have got the win and everything. But dude, what a waste.
Yeah. So if we're winning towards the trade deadline, we should get some relievers. Some for Adele or something. Adele's pretty good, and I think he needs a new setting, in my opinion. But that's just me. Like, he just needs a new team.
Yeah, he does right now at this point. I think he's gonna need a new change of scenery. I mean, he's getting up there in age too, but I still think he has a couple years left, and we definitely need to make a trade. I don't see Adele making this roster up here at all this season as an Angel. I think they're gonna wind up keeping him in the minors because you haven't heard him hitting a lot of home runs lately. So he kind of went quiet again. And I think they're going to keep him down there as long as they can to try to pull a deal with somebody.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention Trey Cabbage. They might trade him too, because we have Jared Walsh. If Lance keeps hitting, he's going to stay here. But if Trey Cabbage is not going to be called up, then he's going to be maybe be traded. I heard. I don't know if this source is trusted, but I heard the Angels were talking to Corey Newble, if you know that guy. But I heard that, but I'm not completely sure. But I want to mention one thing. I heard someone say they hate how Matt Fife frames, but he's the best. According to StatCast, he's the best framer in the team. He's actually one of the best framers, better than 92% of catchers in the league at framing. So you gotta give him credit for the framing. Then it's like Chad Wallach at 52 percentile. Then it's like Stassi last year, he was like 48 percentile. And I'm surprised, but O'Hoppy's the worst framer in our team. He's like a 3 percentile. Like, he's better than 3% of the major league catchers. I
think he'll learn as he moves on. I think that's a skill that you don't get right away. I just will say this though: if they can combine all their stats or all their best into one player, that'd be one hell of a catcher. Because there's just certain things that each one of the catchers can provide that the other one can't. And so there is some holes into some of these, but there's no doubt, dude, that O'Hoppy will learn how to frame. I love how he calls the game. He calls the game better than Wallach, but Wallach is a nice stand-in. Stassi, you got pretty good defense with, and Theis, you're getting a patient hitter, and a guy that he's not the best defensively, not too smart. We all know that, but he can hit the long ball every now and then, and he's starting to hit really good. So I mean, there's positives and negatives to this catcher situation, but you got options moving forward.
Also, we might get Gary Sanchez, but who knows? Also, we won because we hit singles. I haven't seen too many doubles, but I've seen so many singles. This is what we need to do. We need to hit a lot of singles like we did today, and we win.
Oh yeah,
and the bullpen.
That's the thing that we were clamoring about all year last year. Super is just get guys on base, just move them over, have traffic, put pressure on the opposing pitcher. They didn't do that last year. And this year it seems like they're doing that a lot better. Some games they're not, but for the most part they've been being rather consistent on at least putting traffic on the bases. It's just getting those big hits with runners in scoring position that they need to work on, and they'll be fine.
Yeah. This is like we didn't see this last year, and I think this team will be good moving forward.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Well, good to talk to you. And the post game tomorrow, Supra and all those others that are online still, will be probably a good hour after the game. Maybe it just depends on getting out of Angel Stadium is getting harder and harder. So we're gonna try to do that tomorrow. And but I'll be on whether it's late or not. We'll cover what happened in the Texas game. So all right, Supra. We'll see you tomorrow, man.
Yep. See ya.
Have a good one. Yeah, so we'll check in tomorrow after the game. Fernando says, I'm teasing you, Grillmaster, about the jokes. He also says Loop did his off-season workouts with Chris. That's why he's scared. That's true. That's true. Robert says, screw Sanchez, locker room problems in New York, poor defensively. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't take a shot at him. I kind of wanted to do that, but it's the more and more I think about it, and he's a bad hustler too. Not a good fit right there. Nats fan says Kurt was great at framing. Get him down there to show the young dudes. That might work. Also says Dan says do a show from the parking lot. It's a little hard to do, but we might try to attempt that later in the season. Like I said, my buddy has all that equipment for the whole what is it called? When you're on location, yeah, he's got all the outdoor stuff, and so we might roll with that. I just got to talk him into doing it, and I'm pretty sure we could do something at some point this year. Most Angels fans don't have issues with guys with bad attitudes. That's why some fans wanted Trevor Bauer. That's true, and I'm not on the side of that one as of yet. I still got to see him do his redemption tour. So far, it's looking pretty good in Japan. I think he threw like 7 or 8 innings the other day. But he's pissed some of his teammates off with his antics with the sword thing. I don't really care. I mean, I really want other, ball players to show more emotion, more charisma. And it's like the Michael Vick situation, but see where Vick was convicted, he served his time, did his charity work, and people gave him a second chance. He prolonged his career. Trevor Bauer was found innocent no matter how you want to frame it, and whether it was a chick's fault or his fault or whoever, people will forgive you. But I knew for a fact he wasn't going to pitch in the major leagues. He's going to pitch over there for a year. People are going to be impressed by the numbers he puts up. He'll probably play a little winter ball as well, and he'll make his triumphant return to a lower-tier team next year. You watch. Mark my words. He'll pitch for a Kansas City. He'll pitch for a Miami. And then all of a sudden, come trade deadline, he finds himself on the Yankees, finds himself on the Giants, or definitely not the Dodgers, but he'll find himself on a contender next season. See, Bauer is cheap now, but if he does well, we're talking $25 million. I don't think he can command that right away. I don't think he can command that right away. And I'm with Randy right there. He'll be a Marlin. Book it. I was thinking Pirates, really. Randy, I was thinking he was going to be a Pirate, but the way the Pirates are starting, maybe they won't be a lower tier team next year. So yeah, the Marlins do make sense a lot. Because he wouldn't go back to Cincinnati. You can X them out. He wouldn't go back to Cleveland. You X them out. So it'd be something like Miami, a lower tier team like that. That's hell, maybe even Oakland. That'd be a wild card, but I don't think Oakland's looking to add any payroll at this point. See, he will get a prove-it contract when he gets and the Walmart Jessica Rabbit comeback player of the MLB. Probably. This has been a good show, everybody. Appreciate all the messages and all the phone calls and everything like that. It worked out pretty good. Again, tomorrow we'll be at the stadium. If you guys are there, gals are there, come by, say hi. Clown thing is still up in the debate, but it looks like it's leading the clubhouse. I might be there pretty much as a freaking clown, and if I am, I'll have a surprise for all the little kids there because I will have some stuff to give away. So that would be pretty good. Let's see. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here, and we're going to move on to oh, jeez, Crewmaster. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Let's check out the Angels tomorrow, and hopefully Texas Rangers can handle them Rangers and handle the Astros coming to town. So everybody take care and good night.